not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you,
Think not as strange. Don't think it's a weird thing. Don't be thrown off by it. But keep going.
as though some strange thing happen unto you, but rejoice in so much as ye are partakers of Messiah suffering.
See that? But rejoice. You should be rejoicing. Don't think it's a strange thing or be thrown off by it, but you should be rejoice because in that fiery trial, ye are partakers of the Messiah's sufferings. That what?
That when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy.
See that right there? Go to Isaiah, the fourth chapter, start at verse 3.
Isaiah 4 and 3. And it shall come to pass that he that is left in Zion and that remaineth in Jerusalem shall be called holy,
Shall be called holy. Keep going.
even every one that is written among the living in Jerusalem.
Uh huh.
When the Lord shall have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion,
Uh huh.
and shall have purged the blood of Jerusalem from the midst thereof by the spirit of judgment,
By the spirit of judgment, he's going to purge the blood of Jerusalem, and by what?
and by the spirit of burning.
And by the spirit of burning. See that? Go to Matthew chapter 13. So that spirit of burning, that trial by fire, that's how you're going to be purged. That's how you're going to be refined. That's how you're going to be that living sacrifice, holy and acceptable. Start at verse 24. This is Yeshua speaking unto the people in parables. Go ahead.
Matthew 13:24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seeds in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat, and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servant of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst thou not sow good seeds in the field? From whence then have it tares? He saith unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant saith unto him, Wilt thou then that thou wilt go and gather them up?
Okay, so what's happening is that it says it's like the kingdom of heaven is like a man which sowed good seed in his field, but the enemy came by night and he put tares in the man's field. Now keep going, verse 29.
But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest, and in the time of the harvest I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn. Then, but gather the wheat into my barns.
See that? So he said, gather the tares and bind them in bundles to do what? To burn them. Now the whole breakdown of this parable starts at verse 36. We're gonna read that.
Matthew 13:30 and 36. Then Yeshua sent the multitudes away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, Declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field.
So even his disciples want to know, like tell us exactly what this parable meant. Go ahead.
He answered and said unto them, He that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man.
So the house owner or the householder is the Son of Man. Go ahead.
The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom.
The children of the kingdom are the good seed, and that whole field is the world. Go ahead.
But the tares are the children of the wicked one.
Uh-huh.
The enemy that sowed is the devil.
Mm-hmm.
The harvest is the end of the world,
The harvest is the end of the world. Go ahead.
and the reapers are the angels.
Go ahead.
As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire,
The tares are gathered and burned in the fire. What's going to happen?
so shall it be in the end of the world.
So is going to happen in the end of the world. Go ahead.
The Son of Man shall send forth his angels, and they shall gather out of his kingdom all the things that offend and them which do iniquity, and shall cast them into a furnace of fire. There shall be wailing and gnashing of teeth.
Okay, stop right there. See that? It should be, you're going to cast all those that do unrighteousness into a furnace of fire. So it's the unrighteous are going to be consumed by the fire. Go to the Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2, verse 1.
Wisdom of Solomon 2, verse 1. For the ungodly said,
For the who said?
For the ungodly said,
The ungodly said,
reasoning within themselves,
not reasoning with the Most High, but reasoning with themselves. What did they say?
but not aright. Our life is short and tedious.
Man, life is short. Go ahead.
And in the death of a man there is no remedy. Neither was there any man known to have returned from the grave.
Go ahead.
For we are born at all adventure, and we shall be hereafter as though we had never been. For the breath of our nostrils is as smoke, as a little spark in the moving of our heart, which being extinguisheth, our body shall be turned into ashes.
Body shall be turned into ashes, and what's going to happen?
And our spirit shall vanish as the soft air.
And the spirit shall vanish as the soft air. So that's the ungodly says, reasoning with themselves. Life is short, man. Let's do this, whatever. You know that they try to give reason to justify to sin, to be unrighteous. Man, life is short. I'm gonna live it up to the fullest. Life is short. You see that? But what's gonna happen? It says in verse 3, which being extinguished, our bodies shall be turned into ashes. They're gonna be burned up. Go to 2nd Esdras chapter 13.
Second Esdras 13.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
1.
Second Esdras 13 and 1. And it came to pass after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night.
So this is Esdras. He had a vision. Go ahead.
And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it feeleth the fire.
See that? All whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice. This is talking about the Messiah. Go to verse 6.
But I beheld, and lo, he had graven himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the reason of place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not.
Okay, hold that right there. Hold your finger right there. I want to show y'all something. Go to Daniel chapter 2, verse 45. See, that's it. And I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain, and flew up upon it. But I would have seen the region or the place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. See that? Go read Daniel chapter 2, verse 45.
Daniel 2, verse 45. For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands.
See that? The stone that was cut out the mountain without hands. Go ahead.
And that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold, the great God have made known to the kings what shall come to pass hereafter.
See that right there? This is when Daniel was giving Nebuchadnezzar the interpretation of his dream. When Nebuchadnezzar saw a figure that was made out of gold and silver and brass and clay, and he said that there came a stone out of a mountain that was cut out of a mountain without hands, which that stone is the Messiah, and it crushed and broke all of those other kingdoms, or that gold, the clay, the brass, the silver, and broke it into pieces. That was the interpretation, that when the Messiah returns, he's going to crush all the kingdoms of the world. And it links right directly here to 2nd Esdras 13. Go back to 2nd Esdras 13 and start at verse 8.
Second Ezra 13 and 8. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet durst fight.
See, so when the Messiah returns, all of these nations are going to, I implore you to go ahead and read this whole chapter. It's really thick. But all of these nations are going to be gathered together to try to do battle against them. Even though it says right here they were sore afraid, but yet they durst fight. Go ahead.
And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held a sword, nor any instrument of war.
So he didn't even have a sword, didn't lift his hands. He didn't have any instruments of war, not a weapon in his hand. Go ahead.
But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth as it had been a blast of fire.
So he sent out of his mouth, the words of his mouth as a blast of fire. Go ahead.
And out of his lips a flame and breath. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests.
Mm-hmm.
And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flame and breath, the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one.
And burned them up every one. Go ahead.
So that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only thus the smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid.
Go ahead.
After I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call unto him another peaceable multitude.
Okay. So that right there is in verse 11. Those are the unrighteous that's going to come to do battle against Christ when he returns. And the words of his mouth burned him up. In verse 12 it says, after I saw the same man come down from the mountain and call upon into another peaceable multitude. Those are going to be the children of the kingdom that was spoken of in the scriptures. Jump down to verse 21.
Second Ezra 13:21. The interpretation of the vision shall I shew thee, and I will open up unto thee the things that thou hast required.
So he's gonna show Ezra the interpretation of this dream. Go ahead. Go to verse 29.
Behold, the days come when the Most High will begin to deliver them that are upon the earth.
Mm-hmm. The Most High going to deliver them that are upon the earth. Jump to verse 34.
And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together, as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting.
So there's going to be a multitude of people that's going to try to come against the Messiah when he returns to fight him. Go ahead.
But he shall stand upon the top of the Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be shewed to all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven without hands.
Same thing in Daniel 2:45, the hill or the mountain that was graven without hands. Keep going.
And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations.
And this my son shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations. Go ahead.
Which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest. And shall lay before them their evil thoughts.
So he's going to lay before them their sins. Go ahead.
And the torments which they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame, and shall destroy them without labor.
See that? This is going to destroy them without labor. Now what is this flame that's going to destroy them without labor? That's why he had no weapons of war, no instruments of war in his hand, no sword, no anything. What is that flame that's going to destroy them without labor?
By the law which is like unto fire.
The word, the law of the Most High is going to be like a fire, and it's going to consume these unrighteous people in the last days. I want to read I showed you how the fire is going to refine the righteous and is going to consume the unrighteous. So I want to pull out a story out of the Josephus, the Antiquities of the Jews. It's in chapter 4, book 3. Yeah, is it book 4, chapter 3, section 4.
And now Moses called for those that contended about the